I'm at 2778 Resor Road in Fairfield, Ohio. I'm doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues or anything that would be concerning to the buyer. Our access is a stack here, a 4-inch stack on the right side rear of the basement. There's a clean out outside also, but it has a sweep on it, so I could not inspect the interior line from there. So we are going from the inside stack and hopefully we get all the way out to that, to the main. So looks like we have PVC, which means there should be at least PVC out to the outside of the clean out. Now, in this age of home, a lot of times you'll have PVC on the inside and sometimes it'll switch back to clay on the outside because the developer developed the area well before the house was built, and this is kind of that changeover period. So by the time they built the house, they started using PVC but still had the clay on the outside, which a little bit older material, but it's pretty strong material. Clay is, as long as you don't have much trees around. Based off of where that is, it looks like the line from here goes all the way across to, we're starting on the right side of the basement if you're facing the house, and it comes all the way across. It looks like it goes out left of the front door. Again, that's if you're facing the house. So here is what looks to be this is that clean out on the outside there. Switched over to a green PVC. This is SDR 35 is the green stuff, and the interior stuff is Schedule 40. About the same thick wall thickness of pipe, but the green stuff is usually, it's kind of more of an exterior pipe basically. Stuff that's meant to be put in the ground. A lot of times the connections are done with gaskets, so that they have a little bit of flex in them. Now this line could have been replaced based off of that front clean out. There's a big, like 6-inch clean out there, which is usually not something that was put in at that point in time, and so they did replace some of it. And like I mentioned, it goes into clay. Just about 65 feet from this clean out. Does switch over clay, like I mentioned, so that would be the normal material for this age in this area. See all the spider webs and stuff, which is a good indication that the water level hasn't gotten very high. And there we are into the main, and actually it looks like a concrete main. So the main in this little tap here looks like it is concrete. You have clay after about 60 to 65 feet, but the great news is the line looked wonderful. Didn't see anything of any concern really. Looked like the replacement that was done on that section of pipe was done well. A lot of times you'll have little weird offsets at those connections if they're not bedded correctly or stuff like that, but that looked really good. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run some water here. So you'll be able to hear that, but I'm just running some water in the stationary tub back here so we can kind of see what's going on. But essentially the bathrooms and basically all the bathrooms and stuff come through this stack that I'm in. The stationary tub that I'm running water through is the same line that is carrying the kitchen. And so be able to at least run that area because that pipe is too small of a diameter for me to get my camera in and turn. And so we won't be able to inspect that leg, so we'll run some water. We're going to wait a minute until that gets out to this point. Sometimes it takes a minute. We are out about 90 feet, so give it a second. This isn't a whole lot of water as far as like flush a toilet or something. It usually gets down there quicker because it's a large amount of 1 gallon flush all at once. Unless you gotta wait for it to kind of get through the P-trap and there we go. And so as we pull back, we'll also look for that connection of where this comes in. But as I mentioned earlier with the spider webs, and you can kind of see the wear marks or the wet mark on the side of the pipe, it shows that the water level just doesn't get up very high, which is also a very good sign. The camera lens is only about a ½ inch off the bottom of the pipe, so wouldn't take much to cover the lens. That's what I was talking about, like a lot of times, like this offset here, not really offset, but this connection, that's what I was talking about before, that sometimes because when they're changing materials like this, the only option they have is to use a rubber boot. Because obviously you can't glue PVC to clay, and so they usually use a firm coat or a rubber boot, and so there's some flex in that, and so a lot of times it'll allow movement on that connection, but that looks really good. Schedule 40 going past it. There's that outside clean out again. If you look at the top of the screen, you'll see the opening. And there we are back in the house. So I imagine that the sewer main must be around the sidewalk area, inside the grass, but not quite to the street, based off of the footage. It's only about 25 feet or so. Past the repair is. Past the end of that repair, so. But no, this looks really good. It's just a little bit of debris. We should be able to see soon the connection where that was getting in. There should only be a couple connections. One for this sink, another one for a floor drain. And so I believe that is, you can see the turbulence. So that one right there is probably there we go. There is the, so that one in front is probably a area drain, or floor drain. And this is actually where the sink, kitchen sink, and the stationary tub for the laundry comes in. Coming back to the stack here. Now we are vertical and coming back out of the back. So that looked really good. The line had no issues at all. It's like obviously there was a repair done at some point out there, but because of that, I would. It's probably the only issue they had that has been repaired, and so now there's no issues at all. I didn't see anything of any concern. Pipe looked great structurally. You can see it is flowing open and freely, and there's nothing to really report. So we always like these because obviously that's what you always want, is to not have any issues with your sewer line. So yeah, nothing to really report. The line looks great. So that'll end the inspection at 2778 Resor Road in Fairfield, Ohio.